Contractor Trust Formula. Let's be real, nobody trusts contractors, homeowners, commercial clients, you name it. Everyone's heard the horror stories, disappearing contractors, endless delays, surprise costs. The whole industry has a big trust problem. And that's exactly why you have a huge opportunity. Here's the good news. When everyone expects contractors to be sketchy, break promises, the ones who stand out are going to win. So entire million-dollar businesses have been built on being the contractor people can actually trust and count on, and the ones that do what they say they're going to do. So here at Handoff, we want you to win. And in this video, we're going to cover these 4 things, all things trust. We're going to go over the 5 things that drive trust. We're going to go over 4 commitments for a meeting that you need to make with yourself. 3 tips to run a successful meeting and win the job, and the 3-step formula to handle any objections that are thrown your way. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet so you can rewatch it if you need to. Let's get into it. So what do you think drives trust? And when you break these, that's why people don't trust you. And unfortunately, as general contractors, you have to deal with the ramifications of other contractors who didn't do these 5 things. So what drives trust? These 5 things right here. Your reputation. That, of course, is what people say about you, what they say about you when you're not around, what they read about you online, things like that. Number 2 goes kind of hand in hand. Honesty, no surprises, no BS. You are open, you're honest, you're transparent. Of course, competence. That's a big one. You need to show that you know your craft. You need to do that with pictures, with visuals, with confidence. And you watching this video, it proves that you want to get better. So you need to be competent. And we know when you take over somebody else's job that is incompetence, then you have that issue to deal with that homeowner. Communication, it's another big one. Answer your calls, your texts, keep people updated. And nowadays with the AI and the software that we have, it's really no excuse for you to not have consistent communication and having your clients are updated automatically in some cases with the push of a button. So it's really easy. And then finally, security. Clients need to feel safe with their money, with their project, with their home, having a way to, make them feel at peace with these strangers coming into their house. Sometimes they're not home, sometimes they're at home. And don't forget, like I was saying, the people that you hire. So find a way to all of our subs are in-house, or we vet our subs with the XYZ process. Thinking of things like that really go a long way to build client trust. So remember these 5 things, but most importantly, trust starts before you even meet. So clean up your website, show testimonials, share your work online, and be active in your community, be active on your socials, because it's so easy to find people nowadays. It makes you look more professional, approachable, like a real person, and people buy from people who they know, like, and trust. Another good tip is to just do your homework before the meeting. Research your client just like they can find you. Try to find them. Ask them questions if you can. Research them a little bit so you maybe have a connection that you can kind of subtly bring up. They don't have to know that you were stalking them online. Of course, you're going to have an initial, call or text chain with them. So see what they care about, what challenges they're facing. Walking in prepared shows that you respect their time and you're serious about earning their trust. You're going to come off as more professional, relatable, likable, and who do people buy from? People that they know, like, and trust. Next, let's go over the 4 commitments that you need to make to yourself for every single meeting. If you're like me, you like to have little sayings or mental things that you tell yourself, like affirmations or something like that. And they really go a long way for your confidence and your ability to essentially close a sale. When you go into a home, you are trying to get that job. And so here's a framework that changed for me, and I think you'll find a lot of value in it. These are just 4 mental commitments that you need to make for yourself, and it'll help with not only your confidence and your ability to sell your services and yourself, but it's going to establish a lot of trust with the client. So number 1, you want to think to yourself, I am here to help, to add value, to show what I can do, how I can bring this vision to life, and not focus on just selling. Number 2, I won't talk about myself or business unless they ask. One of the best things in sales is to just be a listener. You let them talk as much as you can, then you just repeat back what they say in a different way. Essentially, you are letting them sell themselves, and all you have to do is repeat. So number 3, I want to make money from this meeting, not in it. This is just going into a value-focused mindset. It's going to help you win the sale no matter what. And finally, always I will make an offer, a proposal, a connection, or have a next step. One game changer for me in sales was always having something to schedule. Schedule another meeting if they need to think about it. If their spouse wasn't there, schedule a meeting when they're going to be there. Or have an excuse to send them something. Obviously, in this case, it's an estimate, but try to go above and beyond. Like most people just send estimates and that's it. A lot of people don't even send those, or they take too long to send them. Again, with the technology nowadays, it's so simple to send a professional, accurate estimate. And in my opinion, selling your home remodeling services or anything in this type of industry, it starts with your mindset, and then all the other stuff is just kind of cherry on top with the website, with the social presence and all that type of stuff. Every great contractor-client relationship comes down to 3 things, and I call them the 3 C's. And actually, this goes for your relationships with your subcontractors too. So this is going to be helpful in both ways. So number 1 is communication. Ask how they want to communicate. Ask how they want updates. If they want a weekly email, you want to try to set the boundaries, because I know it can get frustrating. There's constant texting and emailing. So just say every Friday, we're going to send you an update with how the project is going, if we're on time, yada, yada, yada. Number 2, collaboration. Figure out what matters most to them, and that is, established in those beginning conversations and in that meeting that you're going to have when you win that job. So what's most important? Budget, time, quality of work, that communication, staying updated, all that type of stuff. Try not to offer all that up right away, because then you're going to end up over promising and under delivering. So let them tell you. And then finally, clear contracts. You can see why this is beneficial to your subcontractor relationship too. Spell everything out in plain English, and make sure to cover yourself in your contracts with the change orders, with, nowadays with materials and delays and all that type of stuff. You want to take it a step further, do a good job of managing your online reputation. Everyone's online, everyone's on social. Also try to stay in touch with your past clients. Use simple technology like client relationship management softwares to show that you're organized, you're transparent, you are on top of your game, and it'll help you win more referral business, which is, referrals are almost guaranteed sale, because you've already done all these things to establish a trust, and it's a lot easier to establish trust when it's coming up from a referral. And finally, we're going to talk about what makes people uncomfortable when it comes to the end of the meeting: objections. So clients are inevitably going to push back. So here's what you need to do. Just remember this simple formula: acknowledge, explain, and show. So for example, if they say, I've been burned before, I had a contractor sign a contract, gave him a deposit, blah, blah, blah. You need to acknowledge it. You can't start just talking about how good you are and that type of stuff. Acknowledge, I understand you've been burned before. That's why here at XYZ company, we do things differently. Here is our process for communication, for timelines, for contracts, all that type of stuff. And then explain your value. So that's what I just did. So you acknowledge. If they say something like, your price is higher than this other quote that I got, explain your value, explain your track record, come prepared with testimonials, with before and afters, or pull up your website and show all of your social proof. And then you show what I just said. For example, they say, how do I know that you'll finish? Boom, you already showed all this social proof. You have, 25-star reviews, your social is full of happy customers. You have your references, your timelines, your proof. You show them what your estimate looks like. You're completely transparent, and that's all you got to do. It's pretty simple. Again, I like the little formulas because they're easy to remember, because, you go talking to all different types of people. You need to have these little quick things that help reset your brain if you get caught up in something, especially if you're new and maybe you don't have a lot of clients yet. Trust isn't rocket science. It should be like an innate thing. So show up, communicate, and treat people right, and you won't have any issues. And then you can use some of this information to just kind of help. Do it consistently, and you'll never run out of work. In this industry, it's super important to, establish a trust, because you have to deal with all of the negative experiences that the homeowner has had with other contractors and subcontractors. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more content that is just trying to help you win out there. And if you want a step-by-step guide on how to win the job every single time, then comment on this video, win, and we'll send you a link to step-by-step similar information to this, but we really go more in depth to make sure that you are doing everything you can to win that business and make more money and help more people.